guys, today we are making a birch tree cake with a chocolate heart inside. My name is Lori and you guys are watching The Icing Artist. Alrighty, to make that chocolate heart, I baked a 6-inch round chocolate cake and a 4-inch round chocolate cake. I carved down the 6-inch round a little bit so that way the heart is sitting a bit inside of the cake. You'll understand in a minute. I then cut out the center of it so you're left kind of with a cylinder. I start off by scoring the center of the cylinder and then make a V as if it's kind of like the top of my heart. Careful you don't cut too deep. I made that mistake. Now that we have the V out of there, we really need to round over these edges because his hearts don't have square edges. So I'm gonna very lightly take off a bit on each side. Less is more, guys. You can always go back in and take more off. You can't put the cake back once it's gone. Now that we're done with that, we're just going to flip the heart over to carve the bottom of it. And again, you're just kind of making a big V going on each side. I'm just gonna mark the center again so I know that I'm going exactly the same angle on both sides. And then I'm gonna cut off one side on an angle and the other side on an angle. Then you can finish it off by rounding over some of those edges. Gonna repeat the same process again with our little heart. I poured a bit of my thick vanilla cake recipe in the bottom of my pan and then placed my heart on top and then filled all around it. I'm using my thick vanilla cake so that way the heart doesn't kind of puff up and move all around it, and I want it to stay in one spot. Make sure to check out the description for all the recipes I'm using. Once our cake is cool, it is time to decorate, which that is not what I want to do. I don't know about you guys, but when I've done something like this, I just want to cut into it and see if it worked. I don't want to decorate it and then realize that the cake failed. It's all right. We're gonna believe that it worked and get on with the decorator. I'm gonna put a nice thick layer of filling in between those two cakes and give it a nice crumb coat. Once that's done, I'm gonna give it a nice thicker coat of icing going all the way around my cake. The top you wanna make relatively smooth, but the sides you wanna make it look like birch bark. So it's gonna be very rough textured. Not too rough textured. I found the easiest way to do this was to make a really rough texture all over the cake and then kind of smooth it out slightly with a spatula and take some of the roughness away. I would love for you to hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe. Guys who have already subscribed, you guys are amazing. Alrighty, it is time to start painting this cake. I diluted my brown food coloring just with a little bit of alcohol. Once that's done, it's actually time for the scary part, which is taking that offset spatula and kind of blending that in. I messed this up the first time, end up having to scrape it down and start over again. Hate it when that happens. It's nice because then you can have like a blank canvas to start again, but who really wants to start the same cake over again? Have you guys ever had to scrape a cake down? If so, like what did you have to scrape? What was the cake disaster that happened? Now that we got that done with, it's time to make our little rings that are gonna go all over the log. Fun tree fact, did you guys know that each individual ring actually counts as how old the tree is? My tree is going to be very old because I'm giving it lots of rings. And because this log has been cut down a long time ago and now it's drying out, it needs a big crack in the top of it because that's what logs look like a lot of the times. To mark a heart in the front of this cake, I just used a heart cookie cutter. I used a toothpick to make it look a little bit more rough. I then carved in some random initials, I don't know, L and K, who knows what that could have stand for. I mean, my name is Lori. My fiance's name is Kevin. I suppose it could be our initials. Which I don't know if you guys have noticed, I never wear my engagement ring when I'm actually filming a cake because I always, I'm so scared to get icing or coloring in my ring, but then I always have it around during my narration so you can just see it like flashing up here and there because I like to talk with my hands. It is time to finish painting this cake. So I'm gonna take some brown food coloring and just paint along that top rim and then paint all into our crack so it looks like nice and deep. I'm gonna do the same thing with our little heart and our initials, just making it look like, you know, it's nice carved deep into this tree. I then added a few eyes onto this cake. It's called a tree eye because it actually looks like an eye. I had to look up pictures of these things while I was trying to make this cake so I knew that actually looked proper. Some of those things are really creepy looking. And then birch bark is pretty simple. You just add little dashes of brown food coloring around the side of the cake and that is it. It is finally time I can actually cut into this cake and see if that heart really worked, which seemed like a good idea. Just crossing my fingers and hoping it worked out. And it did! I am proud of this cake. It looks like a tree. There's a heart inside. I think that I did a pretty good job. I'm pretty happy with it. Love it when we can surprise ourselves. so weird that it turned from that really odd shape into like a perfect little heart all the way to the inside. No matter what slice you cut, you're gonna get a heart. I hope you guys really liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and you guys can subscribe by clicking this floating head over here, and check out some more of my videos over here. I will leave links for you. Don't forget to come back again next week because we will be making something else into cake. Bye guys.